Right in the heart of Beijing, it was the home of emperors for 500 years. It has witnessed China's major political events during imperial times and ever since. The Forbidden City, its 900 halls and palaces, constitute the largest wooden building complex in the world. And its palace museum houses a vast collection of imperial artworks and artifacts from Ming and Qing times. Watch the Forbidden City on Journeys in Time.
Traditional materials and techniques are being used in order to retain the original appearance of the buildings in the Forbidden City. This young worker is applying a kind of anti-rot paste to the wood, and workers are preparing all of the anti-rot paste used within the Forbidden City. This traditional anti-rot paste is a mixture of pig's blood, wheat flour, tung oil, and brick stucco. Artisans have learned how to prepare this paste through oral instructions passed on from one generation to another, and the formula is a strictly kept secret. This technique was first used to repair the Forbidden City in the Qing dynasty. Rami is spread on the anti-rot paste layer to prevent the paste from cracking. In the case of objects that have a large surface area, such as gates, no less than 6 layers of anti-rot paste and 2 layers of Rami are applied. These traditional techniques used in the repair of the Forbidden City carry on the history of traditional Chinese architecture, a history that goes back several hundred years. The building that features the largest amount of gold in its decorations among the buildings in the Forbidden City is the Hall of Supreme Harmony. The floor tiles in the hall are called gold bricks, but in reality they have nothing to do with gold at all. These so-called gold bricks were used exclusively to pave the floors of the Forbidden City, and the gold bricks seen in the Hall of Supreme Harmony were laid during the reign of Emperor Kangxi in the Qing dynasty. Yet, despite the passing of so many years, they still shine like new. In the city of Suzhou, gold bricks have been made for several hundred years, and in May 2004, our cameras went to Lumu, a small town in the suburbs of Suzhou City, to watch the production process utilized to manufacture these gold bricks. In the old days, workers needed to work their way through 6 working procedures: the selection of the clay, the refining of the wet clay, the straining of the wet clay, the making of bases, the drying of bases in the shade, and, of course, firing. The clay has to be placed in the open air for a whole year in order to rid it of its earthy quality. The brick bases are dried in the shade for at least 7 months. The bases are fired in the kiln for 2 months, and during the firing, more than 50,000 kilograms of rice husks are consumed. Remarkably, the entire process of producing gold bricks takes 2 years. But why are they called gold bricks? One explanation is that these hard gold bricks give off a metallic sound when struck. But another explanation has it that during the Ming Dynasty, these gold bricks were as expensive as gold. These paving bricks being used near the ground of the Gate of Union were made by the Imperial Kiln in Suzhou. But during this large-scale repair project, the golden bricks in the major halls will not be replaced because they are still in very good condition even after several hundred years. The large-scale repair project includes another extraordinary working procedure, gold plating. First, workers spread a layer of glue on an object and then spread gold foil on the glue. After being rubbed with cotton, a gold dragon appears. The gold foil used in this part of the repair project was made by the Nanjing Gold Foil Factory, which itself has a history of several hundred years. Gold bullion is beaten more than 20,000 times before it becomes gold foil. The gold foil is as thin as the wing of a cicada, as soft as silk, and as light as a goose feather. It is only 0.15 micrometers thick, about 1/500th of the diameter of a human hair. 10 million sheets of gold foil have been ordered for the repair project, and they will certainly make the Forbidden City more splendid. In March 2005, when the repair work of the Forbidden City was underway, another surprising discovery was made. Workers dismantling the roof of the Gate of Promoting Virtues discovered a metal box under a glazed tile in the centre of the roof ridge. What did it contain? Inside the box, experts of the Palace Museum found 24 gold coins inscribed with 4 Chinese characters meaning all is at peace. There were also 5 silk threads in different colours, 5 kinds of traditional Chinese medicine, 5 kinds of perfume, 5 shoe-shaped ingots of metal, and 5 colourful gems. According to experts, the treasure box had been placed here to appeal for peace. The number of each type of content was in the order of 5, consistent with the Taoist theory of the 5 elements. These treasures are now retained in the Management Office of Cultural Relics in the Palace Museum. This is a rare scene indeed in the history of the Imperial Palace. Here we can see overseas experts taking part in the Palace Museum repair project, and they are using the most advanced instruments in the world.
I just shot the backside forward and reverse. Oh, okay. So now it's doing this. Now I'm going to go through and foresight as the target.
One early morning in May 2005, before the Palace Museum was about to open, a number of foreigners could be seen in the square in front of the Hall of Supreme Harmony. But these were no ordinary foreigners, but experts in the field of restoration of cultural relics from the Ministry of Cultural Heritage of Italy. In the Hall of Supreme Harmony, Italian experts began to inject resin into the wall. This process will ensure that the surface of the wall does not peel off for a very long time, and indeed, this method was used to restore frescoes by Leonardo da Vinci. But besides these experts from Italy, there are also experts from the United States, Japan, and China's Hong Kong. And these people are experts in the fields of ancient buildings, cultural relics, and digital technology.
故宫的保护不是故宫人的，也不仅是中国人民的，它是世界人民。海内外，特别是国外这些组织或机构对故宫文物保护上的支持呀，这我们感觉到这是它不仅是对故宫的古建筑中，它是对中华民族的尊重，它对源远流长的中华传统文化的尊重，所以我们对他们的这一种热情，我们都是给予积极的回应或表示欢迎的。
现在正在进行大面积的修缮维修工作，可能会给您的参观带来不便。 请您谅解。
Although the studio of tiredness of diligence in the uttermost north of the Palace of Peace and Longevity has never been opened to the public, it is nevertheless an important trial location in the repair project. The work on the interior decoration of this site began in 2002.
Somebody that can go back to the studio on a bicycle to get my tools and to get more tools.
Your tools in your studio?
Yeah, in the studio, in the black roll.
他得把谁回去，他们到那个新工作室，把他那工具给带过来，工具给带过来。我去吧。啊，你去吧，那钥匙在你那塑料包里 ，OK 的。
And do you have any more of these?
啊，再拿几个起子，这起子也有，起子有。
Among those present is T.K., an expert on cultural relics from the American Foundation of World Cultural Heritage, and he has in fact participated in the restoration work of many old paintings in many Asian countries. The studio of tiredness of diligence, built by Emperor Qianlong for his leisure time after he abdicated his throne in favour of his son, is one of the most luxurious palaces in the Forbidden City. It represents the best interior decoration techniques utilised during the reign of Emperor Qianlong. But sadly, due to long years of neglect, the building was found to be in such bad condition that it clearly needed immediate repair. This painting on the ceiling of the Studio of Tiredness of Diligence was executed using Western perspective techniques by Wang Yo, a student of Giuseppe Castiglione, a court painter in the Qing dynasty. The repair of this work is a highly important task in the repair of the building as a whole, and it will be carried out jointly by the Palace Museum and the American Foundation of World Cultural Heritage.
Good job. Good job.
In this room in the Palace Museum, an expert is kneading wheat flour dough for the restoration of the painting in the Studio of Tiredness and Diligence. The dough will be used to remove dust from the surface of the painting without damaging the colours. As the painting on the ceiling of the Studio of Tiredness of Diligence is more than 200 years old, the repair work to be carried out needs to be done as meticulously as that carried out on paintings regarded as national treasures. Following traditional working procedures, the entire repair process will entail nearly 100 stages. Not surprisingly, today it is extremely difficult to locate the 200-year-old paper mounted on the back of this painting. American experts suggested using paper made in South Korea, but experts from the Palace Museum would not agree to use foreign paper and insisted, quite naturally, on using Chinese paper. And after more than 1 year of searching, they finally located appropriate handmade paper in a small village in Qianshan in Anhui province. Seven experts have now worked on the ceiling painting for more than a year, and it will be restored to the Studio of Tiredness of Diligence when all the repair work in the building has been completed. While experts are repairing the ceiling painting, repair work on the inside of the Studio of Tiredness of Diligence continues. In May 2005, workers discovered an ivory carving of a flower bud while sorting through parts of the Studio of Tiredness of Diligence. These loose colour glass beads are from some ornamental object. But why was this jade lid placed here in such a manner? Experts from the Palace Museum find themselves unable to come up with a satisfactory explanation. After several hundred years, the Forbidden City continues to surprise us, and we still have no idea how many secrets are still waiting to be uncovered in this old and mysterious palace. While buildings in the Forbidden City are undergoing thorough external repair, great changes are also happening inside these buildings. The Hall of Clocks and the Hall of Jewellery were reopened to the public after the items were rearranged. Although the cultural relics are still the same, people entering these halls will have a totally different experience when they see them again. They will find that a larger number of cultural relics retained in the museum have been put on display using improved layouts. In 2004, the Palace Museum started to sort its collection of more than 1.5 million cultural relics in work that will last 7 years. All cultural relics, including the art collection, the collection of court utensils and historical records, will be sorted thoroughly using the most advanced techniques in order to accomplish a standard management of these treasures. These treasures represent the essence of art over the past several thousand years, and they, together with the Imperial Palace itself, will be passed down as part of the common wealth of humankind to future generations.
故宫博物院作为社会和公众的博物院，应该是越来越年轻的，因为我们应该把一个古老的紫禁城、古老的故宫，用各种各样的方式，用多种多样的渠道，把它提供给社会，让社会和公众走进紫禁城。
从入门进来，沿着参观路线，在观众的人群里一面走，一面听着观众的议论。特别是我们有了新的改进的展览，我们有了新的服务措施，得到观众的一种由衷的赞叹的时候，我会非常高兴。
我们这一代人应该碰上了最好的机遇，我们也有决心把我们这民族文化遗产保护好，也有决心把故宫博物院建成世界一流的博物馆。
In October 2005, the Palace Museum celebrated its 80th birthday.
大臣们举行重大的仪式的就是在这里。那么太和是取自周易。
자, 여기가 바로 태화전입니다. 황제가 아침에 거위를 보고 그리고 나라의 큰 행사가 여기에서 낮 태화전에서 진행이 되거든요. 그리고 양옆에 보면 문무백관들이 줄을 서가고 항상 많이 행사하는
l'harmonie suprême. Et maintenant, nous sommes sur la plus grande place dans la cité anarchique. Pourquoi on l'appelle la place de l'harmonie suprême?
Three, two, one. 1, 2.
Forbidden City was built in the Ming Dynasty and reached a zenith in the Qing Dynasty. Over a period of nearly 500 years, it was the symbol of supreme power in feudal China. But in 1925, the Imperial Palace became the Palace Museum. During 8 decades, it has experienced highs and lows, but it has finally become a public treasure house of art and culture. And today, it carries on this history, while at the same time it contributes to the future.